Coming back from the trip we took last time, coming back to the world after last time, after it's been a hell of a month and a half, hasn't it? Come back from the land of the dead, go on a nice hike to get away from it all, to try to re-establish myself with games and nature and the living world, the heat of the sun and everything. And you realize that life is just a cell. It's a cell with a picture in it, and that's all the world really is. It's a nice painting, a nice poster, a nice cell, and nothing else. Until you look beyond, you see some hope, you see some despair, and you continue. When I looked back past the poster, I found a startling lack of control. So today, in order to gain some control, to remedy the situation, as it were, I'm going to be talking about the platinum hunts for control by Remedy. End scene. Thank you. No, but in all seriousness, I went out of my way not to know anything about this game before playing it. I wanted to dive into this game as unknowing as possible, and that created some issues for me. That created a wonderful time, a wonderful experience. This is one of the games that, for a AA game, and I do think that this game is squarely in the AA category. You know, not quite indie, not quite AAA. I loved it. It, in my mind, is right on par with Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. I haven't played Plague's Tale: Innocence yet. I hope I get to play Plague's Tale's Requiem, but we shall see. And if we do, I'll be right here to talk about it. But man, Control as a game is really hard to explain. It's hard to kind of go through what this game is from a reviewing perspective, from a trophy hunting perspective, and from a podcast perspective. I think the best way I can explain it is take the paranormal effects of X-Files, throw it in The Office, and then add some of the nonsense of Loki's variants. Except don't fuck with time, fuck with space. I hope I'm giving that at least a followable description. And if not, we're here now. But yes, my name is Insane Raven, and this is Tales of the Hunt, a bi-weekly podcast where I talk about the trophies on the way to get a platinum trophy. And who knows, there might be more going on, there might not be. It's out of my hands, it's all out of my control. But yeah, let's talk about it. Let's kind of go through, let's kind of talk about my thoughts and my feelings about the game. I loved this game. I think this is one of the only games that, as I was talking to my girlfriend about it, we had like 20-30 minute conversations. She doesn't play video games, by the way. She has absolutely no care about video games, but she likes listening to me talk about them and get excited about them. So she's the perfect person to talk to when it comes to like, hey, I just want to get my thoughts out. So we would talk about Control, and most times I would talk about like how hard of a game is or how difficult, I was finding something. With Control, this game is 100% just about the world. All of our discussions were about the world and the ideas and everything that the game was kind of throwing out, because I loved that shit. This is a game where you have to collect over 120 collectibles, and that's not anything new or interesting for trophy hunters. That it almost happens on a daily basis. I wanted to read and watch every piece of collectible I picked up. Like, that has never happened. Like, I loved this game. Truly. So just to kind of like slap that into perspective, that's the kind of nonsense we're going into it. If you are new to the podcast, I'm not going to spoil anything. I'm not going to really talk about any story moments. I'm more concerned about the trophies and things that are missable. I'm going to touch on every single trophy as I kind of go through, but I'm not going to go into detail on the story missions, because if you are platinum hunting a game, it's expected that you're going to finish the game. I think in all of my trophy hunting career, there's only been one game that I didn't have to finish the game to get the platinum trophy, and I think that was Undertale. I don't even have to think about it. That was Undertale. I remember that one. So let's go through it. The first 3 trophies I got: Choose to be Chosen, Welcome to the Otis House, and Paranatural Powerhouse, are all campaign trophies. You are not going to miss these trophies. Don't even worry about it. Like, very easy. Strange Collection is collect 40 collectibles. These things have little triangles and diamonds above them. So as long as you were keeping your eyes open, you will get these trophies. This is a road mark trophy. It's essentially like you are doing the right thing, you are on the right path type of trophy. There's no reason to stress or be concerned about this trophy, because it's very simple. And plus, it's so interesting just reading everything and being a part and watching things. Like, all of the collectibles are either talking about basic office things, which I have an office job. It is very boring. I barely read the emails I get now. But in this game, I was like, I want to read every single email, every single correspondence. I just want it all. And it is doable. And I loved it. Unknown Caller is another campaign trophy. Don't worry about it. Utilitarian. I'm going to try to say these trophy names correctly, because some of them I'm not gonna get right. So, there's that. But this is for unlocking one ability tree upgrade. This is for going around and getting control points. Once you get control points, then, and by completing missions, by kind of killing out enemies and getting XP, all the stereotypical video game stuff, you can then go to control points, which act as fast travel points in this game, and you can spend your ability tree upgrades. You would need to do a lot of them because they get kind of crazy. I think you need up to 100 of them for the final trophy, but we're going to look into it more as we kind of go on. But that's just how that is. So it's going on. Astral Construction. Construct a weapon, form, or mod. This can only be done, if I'm correct, if memory serves correctly, in the Central Executive Fast Point. That's where you can go ahead and build new forms for your main pistol. And it is delightful. I ended up using a lot. I don't think I ever used the basic ability once I was able to kind of just go and do that kind of stuff. Once I had the ability of changing up the form between shatter, spin, demolition, and demo and charge, I was always using one of those. Just as a side note, I don't think I ever really used the basic one unless my other forms were not reloading but cooling down. So highly recommend using the other weapon forms, and you're going to get a trophy for getting the first one anyway. Shifting positions. This is for getting another one of the campaign trophies, so don't worry about it. Is it a campaign? Or is this... It's either campaign or this is... Nope, I lied. This is for taking on a side mission in the maintenance area where you... The first time you go through, you're going to talk to Ati, and you actually get involved in a... There's a side mission that kind of like beacons up. Completely optional, but for cleansing the merry-go-round horse, you can unlock the evade ability. Highly recommend it, especially for later on in the game. Even if you're not gonna go for the platinum trophy, just to be able to like dash around, it's really useful. So just so you know, I would do it. Ritualistic Thinking, cleanse 5 control points. I think you don't There's nothing saying that you have to do this as a part of the main campaign, but I think it more or less comes naturally to you as you're progressing. So, don't worry about it too much. I think as you go along, you end up being told to cleanse and control different points, but I do believe it is missable. Unstable matter. Kill 50 enemies with the launch ability. The launch ability was my favorite ability. I use the launch ability so much. Loved the launch ability. Just to be like, vroom, vroom. I have telekinesis and you're dead. The Electoral Override is for completing Mission 3. Record Keeper for collecting 80 collectibles. Again, a lot of these trophies are the same thing, just doing them X amount of times, which is great. Because a lot of these end up being roadmaps. So for a trophy hunting perspective, phenomenal. For a podcast and discussion type thing, not so great. I'm going to be honest. Next one is Ritual Intuition, which is for cleansing 10 control points. So we just had the 5 one, a couple trophies before. Now we have the 10 one. So like I said, super easy. Proper handling procedures. This is for using the launch ability, using the launch to throw a grenade or rocket. You need to upgrade it to do this. It is on the skill tree. So as you're kind of going through, continue upgrading your character, you need to be upgrading your launch ability to do this. It is not hard, but you can't do it from the get-go. This is a thing that you have to be aware that you have to unlock. Because if you're not, it can become really annoying. Psychic Occupation. Obtain the Compel ability. Now this is for doing another side mission for cleansing the brain scan, the X-ray altered item. It's a side mission. You don't have to do it, but it gives you a new ability, which is really fun. And it ends up just being a good thing to use when the more intense firefights come on through. And by upgrading it completely, you can take control of 2 or 3 different characters, which is great. Compel 10 enemies with the Seize ability. Cognitive Intruder. It's the thing I just told you. Actually, using the ability that you've unlocked. Old Boys Club is for completing Mission 4. Paranormal Collection. Collect more than 100,000 source. This is the money. This is the type of money thing that kind of gets added on. Looking at the trophy, you don't need to have it all in one pot. Essentially, as long it is just something that by having it, a grand total, you are get the trophy. You do not have to have 100,000 source on your person at once. So do not worry about that. First in the scene, complete 1 bureau alerts. These show up randomly. They kind of like, boom, 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 bureau alert, go to this area, go take care of this problem. They are easy if you have dished out your abilities the right way. I struggled with them a little bit until I fully upgraded my health, fully upgraded my launch, fully upgraded and all that stuff. And then I started kind of just ripping through them. No, but they were not fun. The first couple ones I tried were not fun because you can't die. Once you've started them, you cannot die. So that's not really a big deal once you get more familiar with it, because Control has a control scheme that half the time it makes sense because it's like every other game, and then the other half doesn't make a lot of sense because it's just a lot of different mechanics that don't have a place in any other game. Like you can fly, you can do telekinesis, you can compel people, and that is just not... Those aren't abilities that have usual mappings out. So there were a number of times I just got confused with the mappings. And it was like, oh, well, I guess I fucked up again. Bureau Archivist? Like I said, I'm going to butcher these pronunciations. Archivist. Archivist? Archivist. I'll click the 120 collectibles. Once you collect the 120 collectibles, you are free to stop picking up collectibles. I think for the most part I kind of chilled on them, but I don't think I was actually done with them. I'm pretty sure I just put I didn't go out of my way to pick them up anymore after this. I kept getting them, but I didn't go out of my way to get them. War games, complete 5 board countermeasures. These you have to go to central executive area, control point, to pick up and cash out these things. Once you cash out the countermeasures, which are specific to enemy type, specific to gun mode and variant, and specific to the oldest house area, once you come back and cash them in, then you can get the trophy. You're only allowed to hold 3 at a time, and until you cash them in and turn them in, they're going to stay there. So you can't have like 4 of them complete. You can't have 2 of them complete and then go pick up 2 more. It's just not going to work. You have to turn them in first, and then you can get more. Again, not a big deal. Threshold, that's a story mission. The importance of synergy. This is for completing 5 different side missions. The side missions are really fun because you're messing around with more altered items. They're just a great time. So just go ahead and do them. I implore you to go do them. Insular Telekinesis. This is for obtaining the shield ability. This is just another one of the... trying to see... Yeah. This is for doing another one of the side missions. You'll get an ability. This is in the firing range. A lot of fun. Career development. Unlock 3 personal mod slots. By upgrading yourself and getting more and more side missions and ability tokens, you'll be able to unlock them. Essentially, you have to do all the side missions anyway for tokens and stuff. So this ends up being a give me if you're going full completionist on this game, which you have to, because Platinum Trophy requires you to. Yay! Volatile, that's not true. The Platinum Trophy doesn't require you to go full completionist. It does require you to go almost full completionist. I'll explain later. Volatile Debris, no, it does. Now that I'm thinking about it. Later. Volatile Debris. Kill 10 enemies with the Shield Burst ability. So, you need to unlock the Shield ability first. That is not, obviously. But then you have to upgrade it so that it has a Burst and Disperse ability when you let it go. Then you need to kill 10 enemies with it. It's not an ability you have from the get-go. Once you pick up the shield ability, it is something you have to unlock through skill trees and progression. Not something that you might not know, might be kind of frustrating if otherwise. Rising Thought, obtain the Levitate ability. That's a campaign ability and campaign thing, so don't worry about it. I feel like if anyone knows anything about controllers, that you can fly, so I'm okay spoiling that. But there you go. My Brother's Keeper. This is for doing just another story mission. Aggressive Growth. Okay, so some of the side missions have side mission bosses, and these are really interesting. I loved Aggressive Growth and Altered Manifestations May Occur. So we're going to talk about both of these real quick. Aggressive Growth is for defeating Mode 1. You get a side mission that requires you to go below the active threshold in research, talk to the mushroom lady and the mode lady. She sends you on this mission to pick up a bunch of different mode growths as things, and she gives you the ability to... She synthesizes a cure type thing, so you do not get damaged by the aggressive mode growths that are happening around the oldest house. This is vitally important for a couple reasons. One, it allows you to go to hidden areas you couldn't otherwise get to, which becomes important if you want all of your ability points. But B, it also gives you this trophy by the end of it, because you have to defeat the root of the mode problem, which is Mode 1. Mode 1 is... I struggled with the boss because I wasn't using my abilities properly. You have to evade, you have to attack each of its side heads first before going after the main head. Yes. My dog is licking everything, and I'm just concerned for his health. So this trophy this boss fight for me was a bit annoying because I knew what I had to do. I just couldn't get it done because I liked flying around, and flying around isn't the best move. And depending on what attack it's doing, flying around is almost an instant death because you do not move fast enough. I had to upgrade a lot to get it done, and I was worried at one point that I had soft locked my game because of it. So just things to be aware. Altered manifestations may occur. This is for defeating Essage. This is for doing a side mission regarding the mirror, which is in research. It is in a specific, almost like mirrored area. Essentially, it's a whole like side wing that's kind of tucked away. And by doing the side mission that requires you to go into the mirror world, you get to face off against a dark version of yourself. Her name is Essage. You are fighting a altered mirror, and she has all of your abilities, and you face off against 2 different forms of her, which all take on 3 different main movesets and abilities from you, and it is really intense, really fun. I loved it, and by the time you finish this one, if you go back to where you fought her in the real world, not in the mirrored world, you get a swanky outfit, which I wore for the rest of my campaign. Yes, bud. Okay. Crisis management. Complete 5 different bureau alerts. Non-standard issue. Upgrade any weapon form to level 3. I don't feel like I have to explain either one of those, and they've already done that in earlier missions. Discerning the pattern. Cleanse 25 control points. Don't think I need to explain that either. The face of the enemy. Campaign mission. Expert Para-Utilitarian, spend 50 ability points. This is for, again, defeating enemies, completing side missions and main missions, and for exploring and finding hidden areas. The hidden areas I struggled with for 2 main reasons. One, they are genuinely really hidden, and really hidden well. There was a number of them I wouldn't have even found if it wasn't for side missions kind of pointing 1 or 2 out and be like, hey, you might want to check this out. And then a little text box coming up being like, this isn't a hidden area, here's another ability point. I didn't realize that was happening until too late. And when we go to the next one, we just spend 100 ability points. I'm going to talk a little bit more about it. But be on your guard for hidden areas. These are areas that you can get to that don't even look like you can get to, aren't marked out in really any way, and they are really interesting because some of them require you to just really be on top of your game when it comes to the platforming elements. Some of you require fucking teleport. Some of you require to just be able to fly really well. The thing with these things is that they don't do the video game thing of, hey, the first hidden area is super easy to find, and this is kind of showing you that there's a bunch of other hidden areas. The closest you'll get to that is in the side mission where you end up fighting mode 1 at the end. You have to kill off a bunch of other roaming mode, sentient mode piles. One of these guys are hidden in a hidden area. That is as close of a thing that you are getting. Now, I didn't realize that these were all over the map. I thought this was a side mission exclusive thing. So I didn't pick up on it at first, which made the completing the 100 ability point trophy a bit of a bitch. But I'm going to talk more about that later. But just as you know, to be aware of them on the get-go. Astral Phenomenon, this is for defeating the former. This is for the fridge side mission, which is kind of spooky. Interdepartmental cooperation, complete 10 side missions. Interdimensional defender, kill 1,000 enemies, super easy. Finish Tango, this is for completing a campaign mission. You know this mission. This is the mission that everyone kind of talks about, even if you don't know this mission, and it is a blast. The song in question, Take Control by the Old Gods of Asgard, I now have on my Spotify playlist. I love it. Polaris is for completing another campaign mission. Take controls for completing another side mission. Living archetypes. This one you need to do after mission 8. Only after doing mission 8 can you go back and do this side mission. This side mission bothered me a lot because I kept thinking that I was going to get up to level 9 security, and that doesn't ever become a thing. And what you need to do is you essentially need to use a side character, an escort mission type thing, to go through, to kind of walk you through it. The fight you have to do is really interesting just because of what you're fighting, and honestly I loved it. It was weird. I struggled for a little bit because I'm like, what the fuck? But I had a good time. Use your launch ability. Just gonna call it a launch ability so I can stop tripping over my words. But yes, what you need to do is use your launch ability on the clocks, on the anchor, and you will eventually get him. That brings us to the FBC Crisis Solution Task Force, which is for completing 15 side missions. Not that bad. Head of Communications, this is for defeating Mr. Tomasi. You fight him first in a what is the campaign mission, and then you have to fight him again as a part of a side mission, which, you know, you have to do for the ability points. And it's a bitch of a fight. I remember that much. I did not have a good time with this fight. Astro Tactician. This is for completing 25 board countermeasures. More of the same shit familiar. Master Para-Utilitarian. This trophy. Okay. Because Control was recently a PS Plus thing, everyone was given the free upgrade for the Ultimate Edition. Now, what I thought happened, this is where I'm going to just talk about my personal experience, what I thought had happened was that they had rebalanced the game for the Ultimate Edition, for the Game of the Year Edition, essentially, because that happens every now and then. Looking at you, Mortal Kombat. And I thought what ended up happening is that you had to complete the Foundation and the AWE content packs to get all the ability points. You do not. All the ability points come from is for doing all the other side missions and for doing the hidden areas I discussed on the 50 ability points. You do not, let me repeat, do not need to do a single fucking DLC thing. You don't have to touch Alan Wake. You don't have to touch Foundation. None of that is needed to do. I spent a lot of time doing that stuff. To the point where this Platinum Trophy, Director of the FBC, would have been done much earlier had I not done any of that. So, please, 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 save yourself that and just be aware that you're looking for hidden areas. Complete all of the other stuff, or the other side missions, which are so much fun to do anyway, and then go ahead and do the hidden areas. There are guides online. I know I personally use Prax, how do you say his name? To get the last couple of hidden areas I was missing. And that was the only time I used a guide on this entire hunt. So the entire hunt is really accessible. And had I just known, and I'm not blaming Control for this, I'm blaming myself on this 100%. Had I known that the hidden areas gave you ability points and weren't just like, oh hey, here's more space and more collectibles you can pick up, I wouldn't have had a hard time with it. All the hard times I had from it were my fault, and I accept that. But, you know, just, it's worth knowing. It's worth knowing that if you're going to go and do this one, you're looking for hidden areas. So keep your eyes open. But with that, my name has been Intin Raven. The last trophy is called Director of the FBC. You unlock it for unlocking all other trophies. It is your Platinum Trophy. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye.